Hey Aries, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is our daily reading for June 22nd, 2025. Let's see what's going on with Aries. The heart of your reading, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Getting really clear about your motivation, why you want something. Perhaps in love or romance. You could be clearing up the air in terms of suspicion over your partner's temptations in a new direction, or in general. This has the vibe of realizing that something that you suspected was not the case, whether that's about yourself or a romantic interest or just someone else that's close to you. Right now, your biggest hurdle to overcome is falling back in love with your dream for life. I think you may have started to feel like it's out of reach, it's impossible, it's never going to happen. You may have felt like you're being silly or you're being childish or unrealistic. You haven't given up hope yet because the star is not reversed. The challenge isn't reviving the hope, but I think it's aligning yourself with it, allowing it to lead you, believing that it's possible. What is Aries focused on? Making your bag. We have the King of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. You feel like your actions have justified an outcome, that good things are going to come to you. I think you're really prioritizing monetary things. You want money to come in. You want the results of all of your diligent efforts, all of your perseverance, all of your responsible conservative action. I don't mean conservative politically necessarily. I mean like you're conserving resources, planning for the future. You feel like that has positioned you in order to be at the right place at the right time to receive. So now you're waiting like, okay, I've done everything that I thought I was supposed to do. Where's mine? Where's what's coming to me? In the recent past, we have you really aligning with happiness and joy. I think you've, in getting to that King of Pentacles era of your life, it has brought you fulfillment, satisfaction, in a way that when you were without means and resources, you were wishing and hoping and dreaming that you would one day achieve this childhood dream or vision for what is going to make you happy, with the Six of Cups there at the bottom of the deck. It's like a very, look at me, look at where I am in life. This is where I always thought I would be. As a kid, as an adolescent, as a teenager, as an early 20s something. It's like realizing you're in the life that you always dreamed of. So maybe like the challenge is you're not sure what your motivation is now that you've achieved your dream. Like maybe you're living it and you're waiting to see what comes next. Sorry, sometimes when I'm watching tarot, it irritates me when the reader will like, they're seeing the connection in the storyline through each individual card and like showing it to you. And it's hard for me to follow as a viewer. So I get it if you're like, what are you doing showing me all these cards? I don't know. Maybe some of you are, you like to follow along like that. I don't know. Anyway. One of the reasons this is happening, or the good thing that can come out of all of this, is to rethink what's possible and not be limited by what's come before. The Hierophant in reverse is about taking the status quo and reinventing it, rethinking it, turning it on its head somehow. There's a revolution sort of aspect to it. But when taken in this context, I feel like the King of Pentacles saw a way to become successful, followed in other people's footsteps, followed the rules of the way it should be done, and was successful. He was responsible, whatever he or she or whomever, right? Followed all the rules to get to a measure of financial stability, responsibility, setting yourself up for long-term financial health. But the Hierophant is representative of, like, that's the template that you ascribed to, and followed in the footsteps of other people who went before you. When you achieve all of that, and now you're amongst the people who would be giving advice to others, where do you go from there? It's time to write your own script for what comes next without a template from those who have gone before. You're a bit in uncharted territory. I also think beyond just that, something about the way that you are perceiving these energies that you're moving through has you feeling more adventurous, more like you want to start breaking the rules. You want to start poking holes in this rule book to see where you can change things, where you can make it your own. In the near future, we have the Five of Cups, but it's pointing toward the future, which tells me that you're anticipating a loss. You're anticipating being sad that something is ending. You know, there's something to be said for the unexpected feeling of loss when you achieve a dream, because having the dream that you're chasing after, that you're striving toward, it's like the carrot on the stick that keeps you feeling a certain way, like, I've got to buckle down and do this. Because I'm going to get the carrot. I've got to work hard because I'm going to win the brass ring. And when you finally get it, it's like, why am I waking up? What's the next thing? Perhaps you realize in achieving the dream, it doesn't satisfy you in the way that you thought. Maybe this past vision of joy and happiness is in the past because to signify that you thought you would be so happy once you achieved the dream, and now that you're here, it's like, oh no, I actually really liked the pursuit of happiness. And if you look into, I don't know enough about, like, hold on. Let me think of what I'm trying to tell you. Philosophy. I don't know enough about philosophy, whether it's like Hume maybe has some philosophical writings about the pursuit of happiness. I might be getting that wrong, but there's a very, like, stereotypical take on this from ancient philosophers about exactly what I've just discussed, and I'm not knowledgeable enough in it to quote it to you or tell you exactly, like, who to look into, what philosopher to look into, but there's very insightful musings and theories about the nature of that pursuit. And I think, based on what I understand about it, it's a pretty common tale for one to think that achieving the dream is going to make you happy, but once you're there, you realize happiness is not in the state of achieving. You have to find it in the pursuit of something. At least I think that's, of course, everybody disagrees in philosophy, and there's lots of like competing theories. Moving on. What's going to surprise you that impacts the situation you don't necessarily see coming is your ability to really maintain focus and a calm demeanor when something occurs that would have shaken you up past versions of you. You're going to exhibit this inner strength, this discipline, I think, in a way that sort of redirects your focus toward what does come next in life. Finding that new dream, that new vision for what is going to be your carrot on the stick now. Like, I like having something to shoot for. Your hopes and fears, you really want to believe that things are coming together and working in your favor behind the scenes. I think you're balancing that, though, with this real evidence-based belief that you create your own reality through the actions that you take. So you're a bit at odds, like, well, am I just physically, like, through perseverance and grit, getting up and making the world that I want? Or am I wishing and hoping and believing that it comes true, and then there's some sort of ineffable quality of the universe that aligns with me behind the scenes in order to conspire in my favor? And I think part of you really wants to believe that the latter is true. There is a lot kind of coming together for you as evidenced by this card, but you're afraid of, like, maybe believing in it fully because that makes you feel powerless. Like if that's true, then nothing I do matters. So how can you reconcile the two? You really want to sort of merge these two competing theories or beliefs within you. The way that this is all headed is the Ace of Swords and the, excuse me, my voice cracking, the Ace of Swords and the World. So there's some big acceptance or epiphany about a leveling up. You're trending toward it already. We've been seeing that throughout the reading. And when the portal finally opens, or that threshold is apparent, that it's time to turn the corner, leave the past behind, and start a fresh new chapter, right at the perfect moment, you receive this flash of clarity that's going to be critical in how you shape that journey, that moving through the threshold that's so critical to define what you leave in the past and the version of you that you take into this future territory. What advice do we have for Aries? How can Aries best work with these energies? Taking their time finding the right message, I guess. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Sometimes the repetition, the doing things over and over and over again, was all part of the plan. You didn't fail. It wasn't any shortcoming or wrongdoing on your part, missteps that meant that you had to go back and retrace old steps and have another go at it. Those were all refining moments that your higher self knew would be the case, knew would either be necessary, I don't know if that's the right word, but like, yeah, let's say necessary, part of the plan. It feels like this is reassurance that you weren't making mistakes, you weren't messing up. The do-overs, the times that you had to like rehash and build back up from square one and try again, that was all part of molding you and shaping you and your environment into where you are now and who you are now. So see it as a positive. Enjoy the journey. Don't be too overly critical about this impetus to constantly level up. So Aries, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helped. Have a great day, and I'll see you back tomorrow.